How's it going? My name's Nico, I go by COINTrick and COINTricktwitch online. If you want to see more videos like this one, please remember to like and subscribe. Hit that bell so you get notified every time I upload another one of these videos. What is up everyone? Thank you for tuning in. My name's Nico, I go by COINTrick online. Today, we're joined by my brother, John-Luc. Actual, real, biological brother. You guys can guess in the comments which one of us is older and which one of us is younger. But today, we're brewing beer. Together for the second time, and my second and a half-fifth time, if you want to call it that. So the very first thing that we have to do is boil some water. Then we're gonna use that hot water to extract some fermentable sugars from some grains, and then we're gonna turn that into what's gonna eventually ferment, and then bottle later on to become beer. But this is part one, day one. Let's get this boil started. I have to make sure that it actually boils, so it needs to be at least 212 degrees. But no, it gets higher. But anything over 168 degrees will kill the yeast and ferment, and like that, nothing will ferment. So ideally, your extraction temperature should be between 148 and 158 degrees Fahrenheit. Anything over 168 degrees is no go. Not good, no bueno. And that's just for this part. Later on, like when it's just sitting in a cold, dark, temperature-controlled room, that's a different temperature, obviously. But for the boil, you want to aim for anything from 148 to 158. But first, you need to get it to boil in the first place. So we have it up at 215 right now until it boils. So we'll see how long that takes. Before we add anything to the water, this is a gift that I got from a friend of mine, Jessica Caggiano. She owns and operates Cheerfully Create Co. You can find them mostly on Instagram, but you can find them all over social media at Cheerfully Create Co. Just as it's spelled, it's all one word. This was an amazing gift. She actually gifted me 2 of these. They each make 1 gallon. They're both Golden Strong Ale. They're both Belgian ales because Belgian beer is basically my favorite kind of beer across the board. Say, for what it's worth. So the kit actually comes with a lot of the stuff that you need. The first kit that we got to make the Belgian Tripel, which was a 5-gallon kit, didn't have like a vessel to do all of your fermentation and stuff in. It didn't have any of the bottling apparatus the siphon that you need. It didn't come with a hydrometer, which is what this is. So you have to get all of those things secondhand. And this isn't sponsored by any means. I'm not being paid to say this, but this is a pretty comprehensive kit. Really, the only extra kind of strenuous thing that you would need to find is something to be able to boil enough water to make a gallon of beer. So you need something that can hold a little bit more than a gallon of water. I'd say at least a gallon and a half, and typically a tall pot so that you have some of that extra coverage so that your stuff doesn't boil over. But this has everything in it. It has your grains, your malt extracts, it has your yeast. So this is the grain bag that you have. Basically, you tie off one end, where this one might be sealed, and then you put the grain in there. You just let it sit in the water, kind of like you're brewing tea. This is dried Pilsen. Yeah, this is dried malt extract, and then these are our actual grains. But John-Luc and I, funny enough, oh, it also, you have hops in here as well. We have a grain mill. Yeah. So we can actually make these a little bit finer, and I'm kind of keen to test that out.
Why not? I mean, if we're gonna go all the way, have some creative freedom.
Really quick, you have a pipette for when you're bottling. You have your rubber stopper. You have a funnel in case you need it. And in my opinion, you can never have too many behind a bar or when you're home brewing or really doing almost anything at home. You have your airlock, and then some sanitizer so that you can keep everything clean. You can do that, and then this is your yeast. I don't know which you're using. Standard ale yeast, whatever that means. It just says add whole packet on it. So yeah, this is like a very nuts and bolts, like top level stuff. This isn't like deep diving where they're talking to you about like, oh, you want to hold it like in this temperature range or like give it this kind of treatment. And those kind of kits are fun for me because we get to do fun stuff like what we're about to do. We're gonna mill these down. All right, behold. Ye old grain mill. So basically, you put everything in here. There are 2 rollers in there that are kind of hard to see. You spin them with this. You use these 2 dials to kind of dial in how fine you want those grinds to be. We're going to grind directly into the barrel. We're going to pour the barrel into this. Okay. The mill is specifically for brewing. So it's not going to make anything too fine. You can't use this to make like flour, not without like severe modifications. And then we're going to put this in here. And it doesn't look like anything got to the bottom, so this is what it sounds like to mill grains, guys.
What you need is a mulch cam.
A malt cam? I need that overhead cam back for sure.
Yes.
Dude, this is so much harder than when we did this with the rice. We'll mill this one more time because I do want John Luke to feel what that feels like. First, cheers, John Luke. Cheers. All right. Now grind.
All right.
Make sure to roll them sleeves up, all the way up.
Rise and grind.
Way up. Rip them off.
Rise.
No, I'm kidding. Not for free, guys.
How do I?
That way.
Got it.
Yeah.
I can't see it.
This is gonna extract much faster because we've ground it up.
I should have helped you. I realize this now. There we go.
What?
Wow.
Yeah, that looks very different from what originally the bag looked like seeds, and I don't think we're really gonna be able to show you guys this, but I'll try. If I tilt it slowly, you can kind of see. It kind of looks like cereal now.
It looks more like.
Oh, what?
The bottom of a ferret cage.
Oh yeah, it does kind of look like if you've ever had like a guinea pig,
Or
and
an
it kind of
hamster.
looks like the kind of stuff you'd put it like. It looks like mulch, like really, really small mulch.
Yeah.
Let's take the temperature of the water here really quick. Okay, I was like 70 degrees. Hell no. There's no way.
I was gonna say it's been going for
A while.
16 minutes, but I just now remembered I included the time when we were using the other pot, which is, that means nothing. No, that chops off like 5 minutes.
Oh, whoops. So the pot of water is only supposed to be 155 degrees. It does not need to be at a rolling boil.
155 degrees though, for that volume.
So, oh god, no. Oh, you don't have to do, thank you for pointing that out, John Luke. You don't have to do the whole gallon up front. Once you've steeped the grains and extracted everything, it's better if you have more liquid because in theory you can extract more. But since we're using finer grains,
we're just passing it through at that temperature.
Yeah, it's kind of like making concentrate, and then we're gonna add the rest of the water.
Got it.
Yeah, and that should crash the temperature a little bit. But right now, what we're doing is we're gonna boil the grains to sort of extract and break apart those starches that are in the grain into like more fermentable simple sugars like sucrose and glucose mostly. Pour those in here, John Luke.
Okay. They're not gonna fall directly through?
They should. If they do, we'll just vacuum them up.
Okay. The camera seeing that? No, it's not. This is an elaborate cover-up.
Oh, camera 2 saw it. Yeah, you gotta look down here.
Camera. Oh, that's right. There's more than one camera.
So, you want to tie it kind of loose so that your grains can spread apart and have more contact with the water. There we go. I'm trying to kind of aerate these grains a little bit and make sure that the liquid can flow. Now we leave it there. So, I don't do this professionally, so I'm going to try and pull this from memory. The reason that for that temperature range is that in the early, like from 148 to 150, the early, like 152 or something, that's when your brew will create, I think it's beta amylase, which creates more fermentable, sweeter sugars. And then the hotter, all the way up to 158, that's when it creates alpha amylase, which breaks your starches down into sort of like darker, nuttier, more robust sugars. In general, the earlier of those temperature ranges is more desirable in general. Like, those are easier to ferment. But you do want a little bit of those darker notes, and I think that's why the notes for this one say 155.
Okay, that makes sense.
But if we can just keep it up over 148 and hold it there for 20 minutes, then we should be good.
We can do that.